A lot of people just leave a bunch of random shit laying around, you know, just forget about it and shit. Stealing is wrong. However, the things that you're stealing from the person haven't been cared about since several years ago. You probably say something, but like, I don't think it technically matters if you just go and start using it, ruin it or destroy it or like, you know, get rid of it or whatever. Then it's bad. But like, otherwise, it's fine in my book at least.
Is there even... Yeah, because that doesn't work. No, literally the circles didn't pop up. Wait, is there one up here?
Dude, I love owls.
My purse? That means I'm first.
It looks like your purse should get you put in a hearse. It's that bad.
Outfit should get you put in a hearse.
You think that's better? You got your fucking dogs out.
Oh, so you need to pay for that.
This dude that was tailgating me, probably like at most like 5 meters behind me, was changing my speed over and over again, trying to get him like off my ass. He just would not leave. He was there for like 20 minutes. He thankfully eventually just, you know, went in a different direction, but like he was just on my ass for 20 minutes. We were both going like 60 miles an hour. I was always told, when you're driving, you should have like 5 seconds of distance between you, and so that like if they stop suddenly, you also have time to stop suddenly and like don't just rear end them. But some people don't seem to have the understanding that tailgating is stupid. You shouldn't tailgate. Putting yourself and the other person at risk for what? So you can be like a few seconds further on the road. Like, good job, man. Great. You're nice. You're so smart. You're so smart for that. Some trucks look cool, like those ones from like the 80s and like early 2000s I think look cool. But like sometime around like 2012, 2015, whatever, then they started making trucks like really big, and I think that those ones look stupid. The wheels like stick out for some reason, and like the hood is like way like deeper. Like it looks like you pumped a regular truck with steroids. It doesn't look like muscular or cool or anything. It looks stupid. Pretty good at driving, I think. A couple things I struggle with, like occasionally I'll go a bit too much above the speed limit. I'm not really paying attention to my speed. I should be better about that. That's something I should work on. Occasionally I'll like, when turning, then like go a bit into the other lane. Thankfully, no time that's ever happened was when there was a car there, but at the same time, if there was a car there, I feel like I'd probably be enough more careful that I wouldn't do that. I don't like that my phone can do everything. It's like a jack of all trades, master of none type of thing. For another thing, it's like so fucking addicting. I can go on my phone, see that I have a notification, and then just lose track of what I was going on my phone to do. And 20 minutes just doing buttfuck nothing, and then turn off my phone, and then not realize until after I turned off my phone, like, oh yeah, that's why. I've never had this issue with my MP3 player or my calculator or my notebook. I want to like not bring my phone places, but like I need my phone so that I can communicate with people. I want to like get like a flip phone, but I have like Group Me my phone, so I really can't downgrade to a flip phone even though I really want to. I use an MP3 player to listen to my music for one thing, because I hate my phone for another thing, because it has a headphone jack. It's just like it's a one purpose device. I'm not gonna be scrolling Instagram for an hour when I'm just trying to find Wet Hands or something. I can just find the song I'm looking for, press play, and then put it in my pocket and not touch it for like 3 hours. It's amazing. It's so nice. With my phone, I go to put on a song and I'm like, oh, and then start scrolling on shit. It sucks. I want to get a watch, like a fucking wristwatch, but do not want to buy one like from Walmart or something. I want to just like get one secondhand from someone. Of all the times that I've went into Salvation Army, I've never seen a watch in there, but the day I do, unless it's like broken or gross looking or like, I don't know, fucking rainbow sparkle bullshit. Like I'll probably get it. I'm directing all of this hatred at my phone. I don't really have a phone addiction that bad anymore. Mostly my computer now. I woke up this morning and was like, okay, I have a big ass to-do list. I'm gonna just, you know, blitz through that. But first I'm gonna eat breakfast and watch a YouTube video while I eat breakfast. Can you guess what happened? Now it's like, I'm gonna guess it's I can actually just check right now. Clock on the Wii. It's 2 p.m. Fuck. It's 2 p.m. and I haven't done anything on my to-do list yet. Watched a bit of stuff on YouTube, then I went and drove my sister to college or whatever the fuck. And then I drove back, and then I went and sat my ass onto YouTube because, you know, I made food again. You know, you have to eat. You have to watch something while you're eating food. People make fun of that, but like actually, it's super valid. The plan was, okay, while I'm eating this food I just made, I'll watch a video. Can you guess? I want so bad to not be addicted to screens or YouTube or whatever. I don't have enough hobbies like outside of screens to really do that sustainably. I finished Twilight Princess. Okay, so what happened was I sat out here playing video games in the garage for like it was my day off, so like probably around 8 hours just alone in here. That as a sentence, as a statement, sounds depressing because it is. Felt like I was being productive by playing video games because what I would otherwise probably do is just be in there watching YouTube. I need more hobbies. If you have some recommendations for hobbies that are easy to get into, please leave them in the comments. Some horrible timing for the fan to come on, but I came out here because I remembered something several years back on the time when I got my bike. I got that bike from like some like raffle or something, like a draw the ticket, you get the pick number. That same day also got like a skateboard. I have not used that skateboard at all because back around the time that I got the skateboard, then I was a judgmental prick and I thought that people who, you know, did skateboards was like stupid. It's just sat in the garage. It's just sat in here for years. It's this one. It's this. That's sharp. There's a bit of a challenge here because the driveway's slanted. It's not flat, which is fun. That's awesome. It's really cool. Can't actually just balance on it because it'll just slide to the left. 15-degree angle. Maybe not actually. I don't really want to get a concussion. I know of a flat parking lot and a skate park. Will you shut up? You're gonna fuck up the audio so bad. What? What did you say? Bitch. I think I'm gonna clean this off because like there's a bunch of dust and shit on it, which it adds character, but at the same time it makes it like more difficult for my shoes to grip to it. So I don't, you know, it does add character, but me falling on the ground and getting a concussion isn't really worth the character of the board. Really hope I didn't just like commit like a cardinal sin of people who ride skateboards.
How is it extra virgin? Does it like use Reddit or something?
Great power comes great electric bill. I'm gonna steal your lunch money. Originally, then there was a part where I said that there was like one time one, you know, told me to put on a company logo shirt one singular time ever, and then it never happened again. I thought that she was giving us the pepper shirts because trying to get rid of them or whatever. She didn't think anything of it and just put it with my bag. 5-10 minutes later, hey, so I gave you this shirt so you can put it on, and then I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. 5-10 minutes later, and she was like, hey, I gave you this shirt. Fucking pissed and put it on. She's one of the people that's like notorious for being like over the top with like rules and shit. Really that out of the ordinary, not really, you know, too surprising. Apparently she complained to the owner because the owner's wife went on the group chat and was like, yo, so like a while back, you know, like I, you know, made the message, and you know, if you missed it, you know, you're just clarifying, and then started, you know, just like a big huge block of text. That's another thing. He doesn't work in the kitchen because, you know, the women don't work in the kitchen. Breaking gender norms. That's a fucked up joke. None of the women who work there work in the kitchen ever. They're the ones that like make the codes and shit. It's bad enough that we can't wear shorts back there. Making everyone wear like jeans is absurd. Like jeans hold so much more heat than basically any other type of pants. That I kind of want to do is get one of like the company logo t-shirts and like cut out the logo and then put it on like a purple shirt. I kind of want to see which way their mental gymnastics will go on that one. There's two parts to dress codes, because like on the one hand, you don't want people to like, you know, be like showing too much skin or like having like wearing something that's like offensive. But then there's the other side where it's like what stuff they can wear like beyond that, which that's when I start taking an issue with it. If it's not offensive and it's appropriate, there should not be an issue with it. She started yelling at me because I'm wearing this green shirt. Like, are we serious? I guess you could say that I'm being like immature, not, you know, following the dress code, but at the same time, you could pretty validly make the same argument the other way. Grown adult, 40 years old, and you're forcing people to wear a specific color of shirt. If that doesn't sound childish, I kind of don't know. Just earlier today, finished like backing up a bunch of videos from one of my other channels. Any YouTube account can only have like a maximum of 2 verified channels with like, you know, the phone number. Both of those slots were used up already. Backed up all of the videos from one of my old channels that I haven't used in like almost 2 years now, and deleted the channel so that I had like a free phone number slot. And then I verified this channel videos longer than 15 minutes. I wanted to connect a like CD player to incredibly limited on like what I can use. I could have done component, but it requires the stuff that is used by the Wii. Could have used the antenna, but none of the wires for antenna work. The only thing I have left really is S-Video, and thankfully the CD player that I have has S-Video. I can connect it. So I tried burning a disc a little bit ago and it just didn't work. I'm gonna test and see if it works well as a Frisbee. I got the idea to like start like a big old like compost at work. Then like we waste like a bunch of like pieces of vegetables and stuff that could very easily be put into like compost. Took home a bunch of that, used that to start my compost. How long does it take worms to make compost? Why do I need an entire like thing? You could have just said that. I'm gonna have to buy some worms. Fill it up a little more than I would like it to be filled up, but that's fine. I just need to go buy a bunch of worms. I know what type I'm getting, just a matter of whether or not they have them. Hopefully they do. If they don't, then I'll settle for something else. S-Video, as the name kind of implies, is just video. I took out the S-Video cable and put I got like an electrical shock in like my right arm, and then the TV shut off, and then all the stuff in the garage like turned off. I went inside, pressed like the reset button, didn't work, so I assumed that I just didn't press it right. So I pressed the reset button again, and it still didn't work. So I came in here and found a reset button on one of the outlets over there and pressed that, and thankfully, you know, all the electrical stuff's back to normal. I was really scared for a second that like I destroyed the electrical stuff in the entire garage just because I wanted to watch The Matrix. When I'm watching a movie, then I can't tell that it's bad. If it's a bad movie, I can figure it out after the fact. This movie was so bad, I figured out that it was bad while I was watching it. That's impressive. I've been wanting to get a new job for a long time. I like my job, I like the people I work with, but for one thing, most of the like funny people are leaving, and most of the funny people that are staying, still working there, are working less. Me and my brother went and like drove around town for a good hour or two, got a bunch of like job applications, and then there's a few more places other than the ones that I got applications for that I will apply for. They're like online. Shift today was so like the Valentine's Day shift was probably like only a little bit worse than today, except that Valentine's Day was a double and this was a single, so it has that going for it. I gotta do a bird tier list. Wanted to have the hobby of like composting, but like there's not enough to really do with compost to really quantify that as a hobby. Really what you do is like you water it once every couple of weeks and add like a bits of food whenever you do that, and that's it. That's all you really do. It's like half an hour every 2 weeks, so like that's not really anything in the grand scheme of things. This is gonna be very surprising to hear, but Tough Tits is actually like a reasonable person though. He's actually a little bit funny now, he's actually somewhat comedic, not on the same level as me obviously, but like I've cracked a couple laughs at things he said. That's new. I never set up Siri on my phone. I have an iPhone. I never set up Siri on my phone. There was a long point in time where I was like planning to, but I just never did. Like for a long time it was just I kept forgetting, so I just didn't. Like I don't have any actual use like or need for Siri, so I just never set it up. The only thing I would ever use it for is like asking it some like dumb question. But I know how to use Google. I don't really need to ask Siri to do that for me. Also, basically every single month, then you hear about some like scandal of like Google or Siri or Amazon or whoever listening in on their users too much, like more than they say they do. Like a big old lawsuit about this stuff like every 2 months, and every time that there's one of these lawsuits, then everyone seems to forget that this is just a common thing that's been happening like since like the iPhone existed. They've been having this type of scandal like every few months. At this point, it's kind of on you guys for being surprised about it at this point, because like everyone's been telling you this for years, and you've been seeing all these lawsuits and shit for years, and like you're somehow still surprised that a thing that has an activation word can listen to your microphone. Like, I'm sorry, but you're kind of stupid for not seeing that. At a certain point, I just decided like I'm not gonna set up Siri. I don't have any use for it, and I don't really need Apple listening to everything I say. There's a solid chance they already still do, despite me not setting up Siri, but I just never really felt like setting it up despite that, It serves me no purpose. The purpose it would serve me is just, a Google search which, you know, I'm not stupid. I understand how to use Google, so I don't really need like some microphone voice activation bullshit to say like what's the definition of this word or whatever the fuck. Like I don't need that. I'm sorry, I don't need that. There's this whole thing of like, should we have religion in schools? And a lot of Christians will say like we should have religion in schools because, like, you know, we've always had religion in schools, basically, whatever. And I'm not against religion or like teaching people religion. However, the country's founded on freedom of religion, not freedom to make everyone Christian, you know? So like, yeah, I'm not against Christianity or religion or any of that, but like, you shouldn't force people to be a religion, and like putting religious texts in a school is forcing it. I don't really care how you put it, that's forcing it. Like it should be a choice. You shouldn't, you know, basically any religion will criticize there being any other religion in schools when it's not their own, but like when it's their own, then they are perfectly okay with it. With the exception of atheism, because like that's not a religion, it's just a lack of one. It's kind of like saying that not eating food is a meal. Saying that atheism is a religion, I see where you're coming from. I get what you're saying, but like you're just factually wrong. Every country, you're free to be whatever religion you want to, but don't go around acting like your religion is like the only one that has the importance to be taught in schools. Because once you put one religion in school, you have the moral obligation to put any other one. If you want religion in schools, don't be mad when they put religion in schools. Again, I'm not against religion. I just feel like you shouldn't decide what other religion people are, and by putting religion in schools, you literally are.